Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Advancement Center. And welcome to the world of magic and miracles. And I'm going to add to that your magic and your miracles. Yeah. I'm having a bit of trouble with my eye burning, but as we all know, the show must go on. So here we go. And welcome to this day of celebration for all the angels who delivered us all from our origin. Yep. To where we all are at this moment in time. And we recognize them on this special day called Mothers. And we say, Happy Mother's Day. Forgive me, but I have a tearing right eye, and I'm not sad. I'm happy. But the show is going on. Now, economically, chocolates and flowers are up, and the air is filled with joy as we wish all mothers everywhere happy Mother's Day. And we get to celebrate it right here. To mother is a verb and provides throughout creation. That's true. A tiger cares for her cub. And newborns throughout the universe are loved, protected, encouraged, and loved. Can't have enough love and support because you need that love to grow and become who you're destined to be. And whether or not your mother is here on earth or in heaven, we're celebrating her today because she brought you, and you are precious. Perpetual love and caring is the foundation of humanity. Each act of love contributes to the whole. Not one act of love is too much, but it is needed. Motherhood demands, I'll say, commitment to another. Selflessness is just one of the hallmarks of being a mother. Yeah. I have 3 wonderful children who have offered me that position of mother. and I've loved every moment. It never goes away. Now, one mother comes to mind as I think of the importance of mother and love and caring. And I'm going to tell you about my Dutch mother while I blot my eyes. Okay. I had just graduated high school, and at the end of the summer was going to start college, Ohio State University. And my amazing high school choir, uh, it was the major part of my whole high school experience. And we toured the country and we sang, and we were invited to represent the youth of America by UNESCO. And it was accepted, and I was included, even though I had graduated. And my parents saw the importance of this experience and paid the $350, which was a lot at that time. Still is, but it was really a lot. In fact, I have a friend from high school whose mother didn't think it was worth 350, and so she never went. And she never forgave her mother. Yeah. At any rate, we went to 10 countries in 8 weeks. We sang at the drop of a hat in a public square. It was amazing. And it used all our youthful energy to keep up. But the highlight to this day, especially on Mother's Day, I think of the day I was assigned a family to live with for 3 days. And I still remember 130 Meloenstraat, Den Haag. I went to the end of the block, got off the bus with me and her daughter, who picked me up in a high school gym. We took the bus. I stood at the end of the street. I feel it now. And a woman was standing outside waving to me at 130 Meloenstraat. That woman was Elizabeth Fauna, who I shall forever call my Dutch mother. She took me in as her own daughter. We sat for hours. I see her now. She had cigarette burns all over her apron, and she smoked forever. She'd take 2 puffs and put it out. And she told me her story. Now, this was 1953, not that long after World War II. And she and her husband had a cheese boat and had all the canals. And their cheese boat had a false bottom, a false floor. So if you look, you don't see anything. But underneath, they would smuggle Jewish people out to safety. And I was transfixed because I hadn't even touched the war. I just listened to it on the radio. But here was a woman who was a martyr. And she and her husband were recognized. Oh my goodness, flood of memories is coming back. My Dutch mother was recognized in the Avenue of Martyrs in Israel. And there is a museum there commemorating all of these amazing people who helped during the war. And it's called Yad Vashem. Yeah. And I visited Yad Vashem when I was in Israel. And I still remember one photograph. Well, this photograph I'll never forget. But it was the selflessness of parental love. It's a picture of a father feeding a child with his mouth tightly closed. That's the power of a parent. The parent was starving, but feeding the child. I could go on and on and on. Elizabeth asked me to spend a year there, learn the Dutch language, play piano quartets with them, and have a rich experience. And I didn't take them up on it. So I came back and was a freshman at Ohio State. I never lost touch with Elizabeth, my Dutch mother. To this day, I wish her well up in heaven. So now I'm going to jump and tell you that our friendship continued, and she was invited to come to the United States to go to a wedding. And she was so excited because she was going to include visiting me and my family when she was here. And she never ceased to be my amazing Dutch mother. She said, now your children have to know that this Dutch mother sweeps your front steps and makes apple pie. And she did. And she swept the steps. She also said, Barbara, you have a loving mother. She must never know of our closeness. So she cared as well. And that was Elizabeth, my Dutch mother. And the only reason I know that the inevitable happened was that I got an engraved card with gray printing, which I could not read. And I knew that she was in her heavenly home. but not out of my memory. So happy Mother's Day, Elizabeth. Wow. On this day of so much love that we are all feeling, I say, may love and caring crisscross humanity, weaving an ever magnificent tapestry of beauty, splendor, and peace. Yeah. And every talent reveals more and more to this weaving. Everyone has a part and can take a stitch in the weaving of the love. That's my vision for today. And I apologize for the interruption of seeming eye burn. Now, here is this week's entry in art class. And there are a few more to add. Well, first of all, the mother of the world always has to be our model of peace and joy. And this was what Mandar shared with us this week. I hope you like it. It was a little demanding, but here it is. And it represents so many facets of light and shadow and following. And then last week, I mentioned a very significant reconnection with someone from my past. And we corresponded, and he sent me a photograph of his beautiful family, many photographs of his family, but one in particular of his dairy farm in northern Vermont. So I was inspired, and I said, okay, let's see what I can do with this. So I sent this to him, and I said, your photo inspired me. And he came back with one word, beautiful. So that was part of this week as well. I forgive my situation here. Regardless of what seems to be occurring, here's to all. Here's to happiness for all. In a perfect life. And with that, the enjoyment of perfect health and a future filled with love and caring in a happy world. Happy Mother's Day. I am Barbara.